Sorrow. Let's go ahead and start the morning right. First thing we're going to do is take a hit of some King Louis. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, JoyZ of Sorrow. How's everybody doing this morning? It is Tuesday morning. Let's see if I just popped up. So, yep, good morning. I'm just chilling right now. Before I gotta go take a walk. So, anyways, I'd say how are y'all doing, but I can't really see if I have anybody watching yet, so it's gonna have to be a wait and see sort of thing. So, anyways, what do I want to talk about today? Oh, well, I guess I might as well say it. Apparently, Bitch Digger is still being a bit of a bitch digger, and the video OG Digger is still a bitch digger was age restricted by YouTube all of a sudden early this morning, which that only means that Bitch Digger, Flaccid Fapper, or the Turdy Turds, somebody of their group probably flagged it. How you doing this morning? So yeah, that video got age restricted, and meh. Worst case scenario, I could just take that one down, redo the video again. That's all it really takes. So yeah, and I'll just keep an eye on that. Eventually, if it starts becoming something that's frequent, I can just submit another report to YouTube. That's pretty much it. I've also realized something. If you actually send your reports by email rather than doing the the form, you could do the form, but if they respond back to you and then tell you to do the form, do it that way, because at least you know for sure that someone's actually going to be looking out for it. The hood of the car. So anyways, again, smoking King Louis. We'll go ahead and take another hit. Man, I swear, if I have to name my top 3 favorite strains right now of 2019, it would have to be King Louis first, Alien motherfucker second, and what would be third? The third weed. Let's see. Well, we have a strain here called Tupac OG. That would probably be the third strain I can honestly think about. So, yeah. So yeah, it would have to be King Louis. Cheers. Nice bowl, dude. Okay, thanks, man. Yeah, this was actually a gift given to me by San Diego 420. When I went out to the slabs the second time, when I went over to hang out with Cause and I met him. So that was really nice of him. He gave me this along with some other things. And yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for it. At first, I gotta admit, I was not into silicone. I was really sketchy about silicone smoking utensils, but it's really grown on me. You know, it's nice having a piece that is not gonna break because of my damacity. I know it's not an actual word, but damacity is the only word I can really think of that just makes sense enough to explain it. And yeah, I mean, it's gotten to the point where even now, you know, my dab straw is silicone, and it has it's a 14 millimeter, I think it's what it says. Yeah, 14 millimeter tip on it. So I've gone that route. Now I do notice that with the silicone ones, every now and then you do want to clean out, you know, you want to clean out the insides of them, or at least the mouthpiece, because if you don't, let's say if you leave it somewhere where it's tilting upwards, and even not over time, you're gonna get some caking inside the hole here. And if you light something up here on here, and the heat transfers back, that could actually pop in, like on your lip or inside your mouth, and kind of burns. Like it already happened to me once in the lip. Wasn't that, I mean, I felt it. I went ow. Wasn't that, didn't leave a scar or nothing, but I definitely felt it. So that is one thing I do have to say about these silicone dab straws, is you do have to clean them out every now and then. It's got glass in the bowl part, right? Yes, it does. Fortunately, mine is already super caked with you know, resin. So now when I was gifted this, I was told, and so I've seen other people do it as well, is that the glass piece was also meant so that you could dab with it. And then here, I don't want to lose my bowl here. And if you look here in the back, there was a dab tool that went there, and this actually holds dab, or could hold dab. I use it to hold screens. So put that there. Now, what I would like to do is I want to find a like a poking tool with a good poker in it, so that I can clean this out more easily. And I could probably, and as long as it's you know, has the right diameter, I should be able to find one small enough I can put in here to so it could just get stuck there. That way I have a way to you know, not have to stick my nails and shit through the resin and all that to declog the pipe, you know. But I mean, like I said, it's pretty decent. You can find them on Amazon for about $10. They're not that expensive. Same thing with like the dab straw. The dab straw, the most I've seen them are like $13 to $15. The cheapest, this was $10. So no, I'm sorry, it's $8.99. When these were on sale, these were $8.99. So definitely the place to go. So highly recommend it. And now that I got this out, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. When's the last time you had shrooms? I've never done shrooms. So I have to remember the 3 drugs I've never done in my life are shrooms, drugs in my life. Touched most of it. I'm probably missing another drug or two in there, but for the most part, you know, I've never touched heroin, I've never touched PCP, and I've never touched mushrooms. And not that I dislike anybody for doing it. It's just the people that I've known fucking do mushrooms. I'll tell you. I guess I'll tell you a story. I used to know this one goth chick, and dude liked to get fucked up. And one day, he fucking offered her some, and pretty much they went on just doing a bunch of psychedelics, and she OD'd on mushrooms twice. And the last time she OD'd, she ended up in the hospital. Dude just straight up ditched her. And she had amnesia for about a month and a half. Unfortunately, she also had a few psychological issues prior to taking the mushrooms and the other psychedelics. So she ended up having schizophrenia, and she is now permanently on medication for it. I have not spoken to her in years. I have to be honest, I would not be surprised at all if she's probably under the legal authority of her mother. That was another thing. She's a child to a single mom. But yeah, she was not right in the head anymore. I hope she's gotten better. She might have gotten better. I like to believe that for some people, therapy and medication actually works, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, hopefully she got better, and hopefully she's stabilized herself and can live a normal life and shit. But yeah, ever since I saw that happen, I was like, yeah, no, thank you. I don't want to touch that shit. I might have done it if I was, if I'd never had a child, if I wasn't a single parent myself. But no, nah. My audio's cutting out sporadically, just mostly good though. Mushrooms don't cause amnesia, obviously a rare case. Well, like I said, she already had prior psychological disorders, so I'm not blaming the mushrooms altogether. It's just a combination of mushrooms plus taking possibly other psychedelics plus already having mental disorders. Not a great combination. Cannot be a great combination whatsoever. So, but yeah, I don't blame the mushrooms entirely. Again, just a bad combo, very very bad combo. Let's see. I think the last drug that I did a few years back, like psychedelic acid. I was having fun on acid, but this was way before my kid was born. Well, not way, but at least more than a year before my son was born. The ex was still, the ex and I hadn't been married. We were just dating. Acid is fun. Acid is fun. Makes me a little horny, but it's fun. Makes me laugh a lot too, depending on the situation. So it's, but like I'll tell you a story. There used to be this black dude that lived with us, and one day I'll probably tell his story. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't know what happened to the guy, to be honest with you. So I don't know if it's right me telling that story yet. But there was a black dude that used to live with me, and like that dude could get E, that dude could get tabs, whatever. And he was treated like shit by some other people. And I was like, well, I might not be able to give you permanent housing, but spend a few nights here with me and shit. And we made arrangements. So one day he came up on some tabs. I was like, hey, you know what? Before then, the first time I had tabs, because this story is about the second time I was having acid. First time I had it, I was 13 years old, and I don't really remember much of that night. So yeah, I can't really tell you about my first time experience with acid, but the second time I did it, a little bit more aware of it. A little bit more, well, not a little bit more, a lot more aware of it. But we were doing it. He was sleeping in the garage, and we were hanging out in the garage, and we're waiting for them to kick in, and we're smoking some weed, and then all of a sudden I noticed, because we still have the regular garage door at that time, is that the seams of the garage door, there's like a green light like seeping through it very, very, very mildly. And then as I kept looking harder, I noticed movement, and it looked as if the door was breathing, I see the green light, and I wasn't scared. It was more funny. to me. It's just I've always been one of those people that I like to research my drugs before I do them. So you know, when I did it, I realized, you know, one of the things that are obviously is, you know, delusional, slight delusional, you know, slight delusional things will happen. See things that are actually not there. Over exaggeration of things, some type of movement that's actually non-existent, and it's not really that it's actually movement. It's more like your eyes are kind of focusing in and outward in a strange manner, or trying to, but obviously the drugs are kicking in. But yeah, I was pretty much laughing about that. I was like, the door is breathing, and then so that dude starts laughing, and we start fucking like cracking up laughing for about like maybe 15-20 minutes, and then we're like, dude, this isn't that, you know, I was like, man, this is, I can't stop fucking laughing, but this ain't that fucking funny to be laughing for this fucking long. And but still, it was an interesting experience, you know, do it the second time. Go back over there, and yeah, things happened. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. But you got stuck in a laugh trip, nice. Yeah, pretty much. So, and that whole fucking night, it was kind of back and forth. When I was done with her, I'd go back over there, go smoke some more weed. You know, we might like play, because I had a PlayStation 2 in there, and I got a TV for him in there and whatnot. So we would play. He likes fighting games, so I'd actually play with him, and then we'd start joking around and laugh, and then we get fucking caught up laughing again, and we couldn't even finish a fucking game. And then after again, like 20-30 minutes of fucking laughter, I'd get fucking horny again. I'd go back to the fucking room, and I think that night I stunned my ex. Not like literally, I mean stunned, like surprised the shit out of her. But yeah, it was very, very, very interesting. And then I did it like 2 more times. But by then, situations happened. We left the house. That's around the I became homeless. Yeah, but that's another story for another day. Don't really have time to tell that story. So let me go ahead and take another hit of this King Louis. So I got about like 4 people watching, 2 people watching, something like that. Either way, all good, all good. People want to lurk, they can lurk. I did it once. I got stuck in awe. Oh man, you know, E actually kind of does that for me. E kind of gets me stuck in awe a little bit. E was fun. Most E's are fun. Some E's are not. You know, I had ketamine based E once. That was not fun. What do I mean that was not fun? It fucks you up, but you can't move. Yeah, it's almost like a fucking rape drug. You know, it's just you're high and thizzled out as fuck, but you cannot move. You know, it's because I don't see mollies as like a sedative, but it's like sedated ecstasy is the only way you can put it. It feels like sedated fucking ecstasy. And I'll just say, you know, it could be. It's not a thing for me. No, like that. I mean, that kind of E. No, it's just no. I didn't like it. Because it's like I want to move around and do stuff, and cool talk. Wow, K and E. Well, yeah, well, because not all E is not all E is pure. There's Molly, for example, Molly's are what we call or what it was called 100. That's 100% pure ecstasy, the pure MDMA, I think, or majority more MDMA. Then you have the stuff that's cut. Then you have stuff that's meth based. You have stuff that's acid based. You have stuff that's ketamine based. You had stuff that's heroin based. There was a lot of different ways to cut that stuff, and I was when I got into it, I learned about that shit right away. Fortunately, I had a very knowledgeable and good dealer, who provided a lot of different types, and he respected my decisions on that. Where it was like, because I told him straight out, once I learned that I don't want any heroin based, I don't want anything with fucking PCP on it. I don't want anything with fucking meth in it, because back then I was still a recovering meth addict. So he said, fine, cool. So my favorites were the acid based and the mollies. Obviously the mollies, the pure mollies. You can't beat the fucking pure mollies. Fortunately, one time somebody gave me a meth-based one. I didn't know it was meth-based one. I was fucking pissed off. I was pissed off. Probably a little more pissed off than I should have been at the person, because I found out later on it was not that person's intention to give that to me like that. That person was literally just trying to be nice to me and gifted me pills without them knowing what's what and my personal preferences. So in hindsight, I kind of feel bad at how I reacted to that person, because it was not as bad as I thought. And I'm not saying I'm gonna do it again, but I know that person did not mean to give me that. They were trying that whole rule about the path to hell is made with the best of intentions, sort of thing, and but it already happened. So, oh well. Anyways, nope. Damn it! Drop the lighter. There we go. And that bowl's done. We'll leave that there for a bit. Oh, man. I keep going to Walmart early in the mornings to try to get an oil change. There's always fucking people there. I think at this point I'm going to have to, because I'm trying to get to the slabs by next weekend, is either have somebody drop kiddo off at school and just go early in the morning, half hour, 45 minutes before they open, and just go wait, so that I am the first one there, to get fucking my oil changed. Again, I'd do it myself, but it's honestly cheaper to have it done at fucking Walmart. It's $50. Yeah, I gotta have the patience, but the problem is usually when I get up there, it'll be like around noon, and then I gotta go pick up my kid in about 2 hours or so, and usually the wait is about 2 to 3 hours. So that's kind of what's getting to me. It's not that I don't have the patience, it's just catches me at a bad, the only time I get to go around there, it's bad timing, all around bad timing. So, and that's about it, and that's really it. And then I'm gonna be ready to go. Obviously I got to get my gear and shit together, but for the most part, I'm gonna be ready to go. The only other thing I really got to do before I get out there is the axe heads. I've stripped them of all the coating and paint and whatever the fuck I can to the, I've used fucking 60 grit, 100 grit, 150 grit set, steel brushes, brass brushes, to get as much of it off as possible. And I've done my best at that point. So now, only thing I got to do there is I'm going to add a coating to those axe heads. I'm not doing anything as far as doing actual, how's it called, like solid work. The intention here is, I don't know whether the people I'm giving these axes to are going to want to customize them or not. And again, I don't want to rob them of that opportunity. So, the coating on them that they had along with the rust, I don't want to give something to somebody like that. I want to give something that I wouldn't accept to somebody. I'll put it that way. I don't know if that's the right words. It kind of sounds like an asshole of me too, but anyways. So what I'm going to do is I picked up some spray coating that I can put on the axe heads that give it this hammered finished. I'm going to put 2 coats of it and keep it at 2 coats. And the basic reason I'm going to do that is I want to add the coating there for protection, so that the axe heads have protection and they won't rust on them. But at the same time, if they want to customize them and make them their own, because they're out there in the slabs, I don't want to make it difficult for them having to purchase extra stuff or waste their resources to have to do so too much. I'd rather just put a light coat on it. Then if they don't like the coating, they could strip off the coating, eating up by throwing it in a fire, letting the coating burn off, and then from there, do their own thing. And then the handles, the only thing I have done to the handles is I put a light coating on each of them of linseed oil, and that's it. So that if they want to customize them, all they have to do is they could just take some simple sandpaper, get that top surface off, that's it. And then they can do whatever wood staining or painting and all that shit. So let me see. Gotta have patience. There's plenty of other places to get oil changes. There is, but not at $50. Right now, it's getting up to like $70 and up. I got the money to pay for it, but man, if I can fucking save money, I'll damn fucking well. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to spend more than I have to, right? So there's kind of the status on that. Let's see, what else? Well, first things first, I'm getting thirsty, so I need to drink of some 7-Up. Oh man, I'm getting cotton mouth there for a second. Ooh. Eventually, thinking about. I actually want to take this to the slabs before I make the video, but I am going to be making a video soon about this 30,000 milliamp USB solar charger. I don't actually think it's the 30,000 milliamp that they're actually advertising, to be honest with you. However, I'm getting mixed readings, just put it to you that way. Sometimes I feel like I leave it on the charger at the house and I come back, I plug it in, and after 3 or 4 days it'll lose about half the power. So I was kind of flipping out about that at the beginning, but I've noticed in the last week or so, if I leave it plugged in longer, then, for example, here's the light system. Right now it's green because it's supposed to be solar charging. But if all these lights are blue, which to me would indicate that it's fully charged, if I just ignore that and just leave it on there like the whole night or a whole day, I haven't had to charge this in about a week. So they change color to all green when it has the full charge, or this light system again is just damaged and I should just ignore it. Doesn't like it claims to be. It's gonna have to go in there for about 15 hours at least, right? So, yeah, about 15 hours to fully charge. So I left it on for a full day. Again, I'm thinking it could be that, but I think the slabs will be the absolute true test for this thing. I do like it. I mean, this LED light it has is actually pretty useful. It's very bright. I understand that the solar panel on it is fucking kind of gimmicky. However, let me put it to you this way. If you are stuck in the middle of nowhere and can at least survive fucking 3 days, and if this thing can at least get you 5,000 milliamps in those fucking 3 days, good enough. You know, or for its size, good enough. However, I don't have to worry about that. I have a second 20,000 milliamp power pack in the day bag, and I have the folding solar charger. So I have other methods of power. I'm hoping this works out. I really am, because they're $20. That is pretty affordable for 30,000 milliamp, power storage thing. But no, I gotta stop talking about it, because if I keep talking about it, I'm not gonna have anything to fucking say on the video. So yeah, I'm gonna let that slide. So I'm gonna go on for maybe another 5 minutes, and then I'm probably gonna call it quits, because I do gotta go for my walk. I do gotta do what do I have to do today? Oh, that's right. I gotta do some payments for work. Payments, bills. Pretty much bills. Jeez, I keep hearing that. Is that really just... Yeah, it's just like one branch that's just hanging, going... And whatever. What is that? Box. It's a... First thing, it's a dead burn. You know, it's a real fucking dead burn to fucking hotbox your vehicle. Second, I don't like the smell. I don't like the smell of fucking stale weed anymore, or the smell of stale smoke, man. That shit's gross. First of the month, do the financial dance. Yeah, pretty much do the financial dance. No audio? Hold on. Is there audio now? Oh. Message retracted. Okay. Yeah, I thought there was no audio. Because the signal... here's the thing. It tells me I have a poor signal, but I've noticed even when it says it has a poor signal, other people have told me I actually have a decent signal. Let me... just that camera there. There we go. It came back. It's fine. Okay. Cool. So... Alright. Where's the weed? There's the weed. Oh, well, I'm actually down to my last bowl. So I am also gonna have to eventually re-up today or tomorrow. Still have enough dab though, so I can probably do until tomorrow. But I will pack. Oh man, this ain't even a fucking bowl. This is a fucking snap. So I'm down to my last snap. Alright. Anyways, I guess I'll do my last snap here. And that's it. Question, does anybody still smoke snaps? I honestly believe in the stoner community there is an underappreciation for smoking a snap. And for those of you who don't understand the language, a snap is a small little chunk of weed. It's not a full bowl. You just put a little bit right there in the middle. And the intention is that you actually just smoke the whole thing by yourself. It's not a lot of weed, so you're not wasting it. And at the same time, rather than keep hitting weed and ash until eventually it becomes all ash. You're pretty much every time gonna give yourself a green hit, and the people around you. So your phone has high standards for signal strength. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But then again, I like this phone. I like this phone. It's not a high-end phone. This phone is actually by a company called Blue, BLU, Bold Like Us. It's a company from Miami, but their phones are made in China. And this is pretty much the best way I could describe it. It's an iPhone 10 using Android. And I like it. I like it a lot. For gaming, it seems to do pretty well. Videos are pretty decent. The only complaint I have about the cameras is the zooming. The auto zoom is pretty shitty. Or not pretty shitty, but it has a bit of flaw. It has a lot of flaws. That's the nicest way I can honestly put it. But for what I paid for it, it's great. I paid $320. That's pretty cheap for the quality I'm getting. Right now, to get the latest Samsung fucking Galaxy, it's gonna set me back $900, $800, a fucking grand to get that. I don't have that fucking kind of money to spend on a fucking phone. Yeah, I do need a good perform. I need a pretty above average performance phone, but I can't afford to fucking pay fucking PC prices for a cell phone right now. I just can't. So this has been a great alternative. I honestly highly recommend it. I really do. The only downfall with the Blue phones, with a lot of these other alternative Chinese companies that make their own phones, is that most of them run on GSM networks, or GSM SIM cards. So if you have Sprint, Boost Mobile, Verizon, and certain other companies, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to use the Blue cell phones. However, with Blue phones and some other phones, Verizon is starting to be more accessible. So I'm going through T-Mobile. So any of the T-Mobile or any of the other T-Mobile based companies, like T-Mobile directly itself, Metro PCS, Straight Talk, like Cricket, like all the Walmart plans that they have there, most of those are GSM. I think Straight Talk gives you two options. It gives you CDMA and GSM. So as long as you go for the GSM, then you'll be fine and you can use these phones. And that's another beautiful part of it, because yeah, I could go to a phone company and get like one of their free phones, but I'm also obligated to them for 2 years. And in some cases, if you actually look at the contracts, they're not really giving you the phone. You're making a small monthly payment. Some of those contracts, you're actually renting the phone. The phone's not actually yours; it's being rented, and it's kind of like a rent-to-own thing. It's only yours until you've paid off the plan in full, not the phone in full, the plan in full. And if you try to opt out of that plan within those 2 years, not only will you have to pay the penalty, you have to pay the full MSRP price on the phone. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. It's just a way to fucking rip people off, rip people off of their money. So best thing to, and my thing is, if you get any cell phone, first off, make sure it's an unlocked phone. That is an unlocked phone, and that you don't have to. That way, you don't have to restrict yourself or restrict your phone to only one carrier. And second, make sure it's a GSM service. A lot of these phones coming out of China also have dual SIM card trays, or the only problem with this is often you will sacrifice where your micro SD card will go for extra memory for the dual using two SIM cards. But I mean, that's your thing. You can do that. All right. I said I was gonna go on for another 5 more minutes. It's about 9:44. It's gonna come up to the 45-minute mark. So, H7, you've been pretty much the only talkative person in the whole stream. So, I'd like to thank you for watching, man. Appreciate you coming by, and I appreciate even you lurkers just being quiet and not saying anything, and just checking things out. But yep, I am gonna call it 15 minutes early today. I have a doggo that has been kind of asking for a walk back here. You can't see it poking out in the corner there. So yeah, we're gonna go do our walk. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great day. Hit the like button and subscribe.